And then there's this perspective. While thousands are taking part in this day of action, some students, and their parents in particular,
that money alone doesn't improve the quality of education. It provides adults with more income and job security.
Protesting cuts, they say, are affecting their education, enrollment, staffing, really the heart of their futures. However, many critics argue that California was edged out of its $700 million share.
Here are two quick examples which highlight what Hanishek says we're doing wrong. First, we need to focus on and reward achievement. He said
Change.
Homeschooling for me, personally as a parent, is a way to keep out of the stress that I feel.
Everyone is in agreement? Not exactly. NBC Bay Area's Garvin Thomas joins us live from San Jose with the other while since the state had its best people working on it.
Reward the good teachers and move the not-so-good ones out. He says study after study has also shown that a good teacher is the same with less resources. Still, there are people out there much smarter than me that say that might not be the case. The example of how we do the opposite is that we give extra money to underperforming schools, but then if and when that school improves, they lose out on that money to improve a child's education. Reporting live from San Jose, Robert Thomas, NBC Bay Area News.
those are interesting perspectives on this.
And kids in private school are enjoying.
Yeah.
There you
are!
Everyone can afford.
And I'm lucky every day, right? My daddy, AP music theory. I wanted to join the orchestra, but with all the budget cuts, they had to basically cut all those programs. I really like this in here.
The public education is not as good as it used to be.
As fed-up parents decided to homeschool 9-year-old Milo. While her kindergartner is still enrolled in public school, that too could soon. Public schools do away with art and music. Private schools are filling the void. The folks at Tilden Prep in Albany.
My students, though, I had them the hour before they did the Nations made
all together.
This one, why don't you go ahead?
We are not getting very good value for our money in K-12 schools.
Eric Hanishek.
That there's no hope. We could put any amount of money almost into the schools and not.
Say they're so angry about the cuts, they've given up on the public school systems.
Here we go.
As NBC Bay Area's Jody Hernandez reports, for those who can afford it,
Deadline to pass.
private schools and homeschooling too are much more attractive nowadays.
15 leaves, California's doesn't.
All of the state is to blame. We have allowed a system to develop in which.
We didn't say it ain't today. Does it mean every
System having to confront these cuts all the time.
But while the individual out-of-the-box type education that more homeschoolers and Alexandra Cardinale says she's finally getting the education she's been craving. Up until 2 months ago,
If you need a can sheet, it'll be candy, raise your hand. They are for education.
Frustrated by the cutbacks at her public school in San Ramon.
I wasn't really able to kind of stretch my wings like I wanted to.
some of the race to the top funds and wrangled for weeks before the
rally was held late this afternoon. We went to a couple today, and you go, and the argument that is made in each one is very compelling. You can't do more. What does he think when he sees thousands upon thousands asking, pleading for more money for their schools?
I think to myself,
He says that
is another side.
there is always another side, Jessica. Here at Independent High School.
Tells me you better appreciate what you get here. A lot of kids don't get this.
In the East Bay, Jody Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News. 50% from last year.
We're benefiting and the kids are benefiting. And I'm glad we can help, but really.
His opinion is certainly worth something. And so, but that does not, by definition, help the students. And more money only helps, he says, if the system works. And Hanishek believes
achievement is not the highest priority. We don't focus on what kids know and what they should know. And if we don't do it,
Were participating, and there was union opposition to those funds. Well, a Day of Action rally has also been taking place in downtown San Jose, where students and their teachers are...
that's not an incentive to get better. He says it's the same with teachers. We pay all teachers the same, whether they are good or not so good. He says, the institution knows the argument he is about to make is not always the most popular. Still, with 35 years experience studying what works and what doesn't in it.
Schools Chief Jack O'Connell says he's not sure if it's worth more competitive. Now, other states with large populations, including New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Illinois, were among the 16 finalists.
Mobilizing the interest in education, but that the protest is not so much about education as their own personal interest.
They are for children.